Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Songs of Faith Sunday. My name is Chris Wilson. Very excited to be playing for you tonight on this second night of us having a very small and intimate studio audience. I'm going to get right to it with a song that was requested by one of our audience members. And I just want to pray God's blessings for everybody tonight. Let's just take an hour and sort of sit back and enjoy each other and be very grateful that we have a very loving God who allows us to do such things. Touch the ground. I see a father, and he makes a joyful sound. And I stand in the water, you stand here with me. Lord, pull me under to set my soul free. Redeemed, redeemed, redeemed. Lord, I am redeemed. And I hear a prophet, he calls out words to me. Make me a teacher, Lord, set your people free. 'Cause I stand in the water, you stand here with me. Lord, pull me under to set my soul free. Redeemed, redeemed, redeemed. Lord, I am redeemed. And I read your story, I read your words divine. And Lord, take my story that you may rewrite mine. 'Cause I stand in the water, you stand here with me. Lord, pull me under to set my soul free. Redeemed, redeemed, redeemed. Lord, I am redeemed. Well, I kneel at the altar, my hands down on the floor. And you lift my head up, this hurt ain't yours no more. 'Cause I stand in the water, you stand here with me. Lord, pull me under Lord, I am redeemed. Thank you very much. Well, as I mentioned before, we have a very small and intimate, social distanced, mask-wearing crowd in here tonight. And while that's a little awkward at times, it's so good to see all of you lovely people and feel the spirit that is sort of pumping up this building right now. We're incredibly blessed to be doing this in this space again after 8 months of quiet. I was telling the audience that was here that we were taking some liberties before the audience came back in here, and I did 1 or 2 shows in my underwear. I was just shot from when I was sitting on a couch over there, so I was. So now I have to be on my best behavior again. So I'm gonna try something that I haven't done before. If you're new to the Songs of Faith evenings, I would say probably at this point many of you are not. But if you are, we just like to spend an hour just singing songs that are sort of pillars of my faith, songs that strengthen it, and songs that allow me to fall back and relax into it. The arms of God are a place that we should just be able to fall back into at any time and relax, and that's sort of what I go for. I told the audience, though, no snoring. I want to relax you, but there's a limit. So I found this old tenor guitar. This is one of the few times I sort of cheated on Dave Stutzman and got a guitar elsewhere. But in my defense, I instantly took it to him and said, "Please put this back together." So I found this at a little antique shop, and they didn't. Somebody had hung it on a wall for about 30 years and neglected it, over a radiator or something like that, and it needed a little love. So tonight I'm going to sing a song. This is a new one. I heard this song just a few days ago, and it really sort of spoke to me. I've been enjoying some of these old-time spirituals. They've been really speaking to me. I think the more, we sort of wander into the woods of modern culture, I find myself wanting to retreat into some of these more old-time, places where they were just very clear messages, Clear messages. There wasn't so much confusion about every decision we had to make, And so this song has just been speaking to me lately. I hope it speaks to you. Round, round, wanna go round, see the rock of ages. When my body gives out, gonna read the final pages. Oh, my mother who's gone, she told me I should meet her someday. Streets of gold, gonna guide me home to greet her. Once my father sat down, told me of the prophets, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, gone but not final pages. Moses heard a voice, called him up the mountain. 40 days had said when Moses came a-shouting. Wanna see the rock of ages. When my body gives out, gonna read the final pages. Thank you. There's something about those songs, you know? They just have this sort of haunting quality, but also just a very, very simple, straightforward message, which really appeals to me in a time of great confusion. I've also replaced my squeaky stool tonight with my tractor seat stool. So I'm just gliding up here and making use of one of my Samsonite suitcases, propping up my foot here. It's probably one of the first times I've found one of them useful. I usually, as my wife can attest. The subtext under my massive Samsonite suitcase collection is my wife, in parentheses, saying, "Why can't you collect coins?" So much easier. So I've been singing this song for the last few weeks, and I'm going to sing it today again. This is, we've all just sort of been through an interesting week of some heavy emotions, and they're still kind of flying around with the politics in the country. And we try not to get into that in this building. We try to shoot for something a little bit different, a little bit of a higher call, so to speak. And but I do think one thing that we all can agree on is that we just we wish blessings on each other and on this country. And so I love to sing this next song lately just to remind me of how blessed we are to live here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea. Thank you. Now, one of the things that always happens to me throughout my career, and like something that my buddies used to take great joy in ribbing me about, is the fact that I tend to like to slow songs down. But I found, like, for me, I guess that was my particular, for lack of a better word, gift, was to sort of take something and try to figure out how to express it in such a way that you could actually hear it. Like, that's always what I want, because I listen to a song like that and I think, so often the ceremony and the pomp and circumstance that surrounds that song, all very important stuff. But sometimes you don't take the words in. It's easy to just go through the motions and just say, okay. But, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shine. These are words, And so I find myself always wanting to sort of just get out of the way so that you can hear them, And I found that happen. I sang the Star Spangled Banner recently, did an acoustic version of it. And I just sang it like a folk song, which I had never heard anybody actually do before. I mean, I'm sure people have, but I hadn't heard it. And I found myself, it was the first time that I've heard those lyrics, and I've been moved by them based on the various, ceremonial events where it's sung. But that was the first time I listened to it as a song, as a song. And it was really very special. So, that's just a little bit of an indication of why I kind of do what I do, and sort of sometimes I'll kind of put the brakes on something. So the equivalent of driving with your mom and she puts on the brakes and she goes, I'm trying to be the musical equivalent of that in confusing times. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But, you say stuff when you're on TV. Let's see here. Kind of feeling that same. I'm going to play all these instruments at the same time. Just a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world below. is no sickness, no toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father and all my loved ones who've gone on. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. Dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is hard and steep, but beauteous fields arise before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. So I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger, just traveling through this world below. There is no sickness, no toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father and all my loved ones who've gone on. And I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. Thank you. I am playing this beautiful instrument tonight, this Larrivee guitar, courtesy of Stutzman's Guitar Center in Spencerport, New York. I feel like you in the virtual audience and you here in the audience have all been now intimately connected with Dave and the family who work at Stutzman's. Dave is here tonight to make sure I don't break this guitar. And but if you're in need of anything, I mean, seriously, every guitar that I own has passed through Stutzman's multiple times, whether it was for repairs, or it was purchased there, or loaned to me, or some various things. Although I'm special, he doesn't do that for everybody. He's not just going to give you one. Yeah, I feel... I don't know if you guys are like me, but with all of the tumult of the last few weeks or few months, or really all of 2020, let's just put all of 2020 in there. It's interesting because, and this is what I find with myself, is that I start in that adversarial place, that sort of, fight or flight, like, oh, I got to figure this out. And then I find that it's really easy to, and sort of a quick transition to turn to a place of gratitude. You start going, okay, this is happening, but look what I have. Look what we have. I mean, I'm sitting here in this building right now, and I'm looking at these beautiful people, and I wish you in the audience and the virtual audience could see them, but it's just such a gift to be able to do the thing that you were designed to do. So I encourage everybody to seek God, and if you haven't already, find that thing that you were designed to do, because it makes all the difference. I'm going to sing another request. I don't usually do a lot of that, but this is again on the Songs of Faith nights. But this is only the first time we've had people here to make requests, so I'm sort of excited about that. This is a song that I wrote during this 7 Songs in 7 Days project that I tried to do, which ended up being sort of a difficult and hard, rocky road for a week, digging into all of the different ins and outs of my faith and what it meant to me. And of all of the songs that I wrote during that period, this next one was the one where it sort of, it unnerved me what I found, as I sort of went into my faith. There were moments where I really felt a connection with the Lord that I hadn't really felt before, and it was startling. This song is called "To the Garden." I'm laughing because you can hear my daughters singing upstairs to some cartoon they're watching.
They might be arguing. I can't figure it out. Yeah.
Just as a little funny side note before I do this song, this morning I was awakened to hearing my 2 daughters, they're 8 and 10, having an argument while they were playing Legos at the kitchen table. And I heard the entire conversation, and it just started out with one of them making something that the other one wanted to play with, and the eldest one said no. And now to give you a little background, the day before we had just sort of lectured the kids about how important it was to resolve their differences in a healthy way. So what's funny is I actually heard the fruits of that conversation start to take place, but it was so funny because my eldest daughter Gracie was like, she was the one who wouldn't let the smaller one play with the thing, and she was like, I just want to play with this, and there's only one, so sorry, and the smaller one was like, but you promised that you'd be nice, and she's like, well, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to give you whatever you want, and so the smaller one started to pout a little bit, and I heard the older one say, you're being very passive aggressive. And I said, and I heard then the smaller one go, no, I am not. And she's like, yes, you are. And I'm going to tell Mama. and so then the smaller one goes marching upstairs. And so, yeah, that's... what to do with that as a parent. the heart like a loan, a heartbeat to a quiet moan, stinging like a ringing bell. Awake you stand up where he fell. Brush away the reaching hand, falling through the soul like sand. Go where nowhere left to hide, no corner that I have not tried. Then to the garden I come, with my face down, spirit bound by grace. Oh, my Father, please take this cup from me. If you don't, or if you won't, your will it be. Remember where it all began, looking down to see my Father's hands, waiting, watching, wailing wide. Will I not turn my eyes on high? To the garden I come, with my face down, spirit bound by grace. And oh, my Father, please take this cup from me. If you don't, if you won't, your will it be. Driving down this gravel road, the rhythm of the crushing stones, and I can see a cracked blue sky laid before a deep sunrise. To the garden I come, with my face down, spirit bound by grace. Oh, my Father, please take this cup from me. If you don't, if you won't, your will it be. You know, my in-laws have, well, to kind of go back, I was, when Carrie and I were first dating, I think I was making an effort to make an impression on her parents, and I was in the mall, and they were selling these rather large, like oil print paintings. And there was a picture of, I knew them to be very faithful people. And there was a picture of Jesus in the garden at Gethsemane. It was not one that I had seen before. It was sort of a different take on it. And so I bought it for them, and they hung it up in the kitchen. And what's funny is, and I just think about this now, is that when I was writing that song, I was in my mind's eye, I was staring at that painting, and that was 20 odd years ago when I was courting Carrie. I just think it's funny how sometimes the brain puts these things together. And so my picture of Jesus in the garden was that painting. And I always just get a kick out of seeing how all these puzzle pieces connect years later. When you just start, as you get older, you're just standing a little further back from the picture, and all these things start to make a little bit more sense. So, one of the other songs I sang tonight was about. Actually, I sang this in the pre-show, which you'll get if you come here and sit here in the audience. But it was talking about seeing a cross swaying from my mom's guitar. My mom had just had a little wooden cross on a little piece of leather cord that would just hang from her guitar. And I'd watch her play, and it would just sway back and forth. And sort of referencing that as one of those, maybe that was in the song I say, maybe that was your way of speaking to my hands today. And those puzzle pieces, we just, throughout our life, we just keep turning them, and they don't fit for a long time. And then all of a sudden they go, and those are those wonderful moments where you feel, at least for me, that's when I feel the Holy Spirit a lot. For those of you out there in the virtual audience, if this is something that you'd like to support, we would be very grateful for your support. You can go to make a donation to keep this show and these performances going. You can go to www.chriswilson.us, and there's a donate button there on the homepage, as well as an address if you'd like to send a donation that way. And we are so grateful for that. All of everything that we take in just goes to, keeping the lights on in this building, keeping things running, and, repairing various things. This building needs a lot of maintenance, so, we really try to make sure that it all goes right back into giving you guys a good experience. So there's the spiel. How about this one? Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you, or the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Tell me, Lord, do you think there's a way I can try to repay all I've taken from you? maybe, Lord, I can show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it. So help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands. Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Oh, now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands. Jesus, my soul's in your hands. It's an anthem, you know. I found that, in a lot of the things that we're doing sort of culturally now, and all of these sort of missteps that we seem to be taking as people, we seem to have lost the humility before God that is so essential, that we humble ourselves with every chance we get. Do we overheat again? Man. And the humility of having your camera overheat in the middle of a show. So that song really speaks to me. Why me, Lord? Why do I get this? I love. I was having actually an interesting conversation with my friend Dave here this week about how which references a line in this song. Maybe, Lord, I can show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. And he was talking about a moment where, which I don't think he'd mind me mentioning, was that he had a particular health problem, and because of the knowledge he gained during that, he was able to show 2 or 3 other people a particular thing that was able to help them with that health problem. And I just think none of this stuff is accidental, It's all just these beautiful puzzle pieces, and they're just turning, and we're all in it. And so those lines, I was thinking about, my 62 Gibson in there, which is like one of my favorite instruments I've ever had. But that guitar, it looked literally like somebody dragged it behind a truck. It wouldn't surprise me if they had. Everything about the guitar was cracked in about 9 different places and glued back together. And I mean, you guys know you worked on it, and it was, and it sounds probably better than it did when it came off the factory floor. And for all of its damage, you can hear its redemption. And I feel like that's what we are as people, too. We all have that within us. So that's been something that's been motivating me and guiding me lately with my own music and all of the stuff that's been going on. Somebody tells you 8 months ago, you can't do your job anymore. You have a moment where you're like, what? I got to figure something else out. And many of you know the story that we had this video equipment that was just sitting here. It was sitting over there, right behind those chairs you're sitting in. And we'd look at it once in a while and go, we should really learn how to use that. And We never did. But we had it, and we were prepared. And now this wonderful thing is happening. So I'm trying to remember that when I get down, you know. Oh, and I also actually, this is a good transition here because I'd like to thank, I know I've done this on a lot of shows, but I'd really like to thank my friend Mark Anthony from Anthony Chapel's funeral homes because he and I met one day. I did a show at the Penthouse in Rochester, New York, and he just I don't think he'd mind me telling you this story. He called me up one day after that. I didn't actually meet him at that show. He just saw me perform, and he called me up and he said I'd like to make a donation. He's like, how can I do that? And I said, oh, well, thank you so much. That's wonderful. And I said, there's a link on our website. You can go do that. And he said, oh, great. And he just got off the phone very quickly, didn't really elaborate or anything like that. And he gave us a pretty sizable donation. And I was like, I was blown away. And it was, again, one of those wonderful moments where it was like exactly what we needed to keep going. And so I got in touch with him afterward, and I said, we don't know each other, but I just want to thank you so much. And he said, I felt God moving to do that. And so the reason I mention that is because that video equipment that was sitting behind those chairs over there was courtesy of Mark Anthony. And he just said, I feel like you should do this and whatever. And it just sat over there. This is going back a year and a half. And it just sat over there. And we were trying, we had aspirations to do something like this, but he said, I just felt led and moved to do that. So the first camera that we had and the system that we used to do this whole show was courtesy of Mark, and him just saying, I don't know what's going on, I just felt led to do this. And isn't that something? I mean, and so I just wanted to, he'd probably be sort of irritated with me that I'm sort of thanking him publicly, but I always think that these things are important because to realize how everything is sort of interconnected. And there's a number of people in this room that, as I look at your faces, who have also been exceptionally helpful in just keeping this thing going or making it happen or some aspect of it. And I'm just overwhelmed by that. And I would have to work really hard to not be grateful. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, oh, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught in grace, my fears relieve. And how precious did that grace appear, the hour that I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, will I have already come. And His grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace it will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, just bright shining as the sun. We've known less days to sing, oh, to sing God's praise, than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, oh, but now I see. Thank you. You know, for all of our efforts, I think we've all, you know, all of us Christian writers and singers have failed to really equal that song. The more we try, I don't know where songs like that, I mean, I do know where songs like that come from, but man, you know, I mean, it's not an accident that song has been around for so long and will last forever. I don't see there ever being a time where someone is not singing that song. And what a great way to feel connected to both the past and what's to come. So, you guys have pumped me up tonight. I am flying high in the spirit tonight. I'm serious. What should we finish with? Maybe, You know, I sang this song in the pre-show, but I think I'm going to sing it again because I think it's a nice one. We get a lot of people asking for this next song, and it's sort of become like an unofficial theme song of our Songs of Faith Sunday nights. Just once again to the audience out there, every Sunday night we do this. Every Sunday at 7. You can also watch it really anytime you want, but we like it when you watch it live because we feel the thing. But and we also have some seating available for our small, intimate audiences that we're having here. We're doing our best to keep it, according to guidelines, and we're all just doing our best to figure out how all of this stuff works in this 2020 that we're in. And this song again, we get a lot of requests for this one, and. The Father has a plan, though it's hard to see it now. You feel you're walking all alone, but He's there, no doubt. And when the storm around you rages, you're tossed to and fro. When you're faced with life's decisions, you're not sure which way to go. Stand still and let God move. Standing still is hard to do. When you feel you have reached the end, He'll make a way for you. Stand still and let God move. When the enemy surrounds you and the walls are closing in, when the tide is swiftly rising and you wonder where He's been, friend, there never was a moment His arms weren't reaching out. You can rest assured and be secure, God's moving right now. So stand still and let God move. Standing still is hard to do. When you feel you have reached the end, He'll make a way for you. Stand still and let God move. Stand still and let God move. Just stand still and let God move. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Well, I just want to thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you all who've watched tonight. I want to send a special shout out to my friend Maureen, who's not feeling too well tonight, and tell you that we love you, and we hope to see you soon. If you'd like to support this program, once again, we'd be very happy to have you do that. Or if you'd just like some more information about what we do or what we're trying to do or what I've done in the past in terms of my albums and stuff, go to my website, which is www.chriswilson.us. It's written here on the screen. And you can find out more about what we do, make a donation, whatever you're in the mood to do. Well, God bless everybody. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you on Wednesday night for songs for Wednesday night live by request. God bless everybody.